And I do walk upon one's dyke, and I do survey the land, and I did become the reaper with my own bare hands. For I am Woden, though some call me Hermes, some call me Roman Mercury, god of cargoes, god of weather, hanging god of boundaries, hanging god of Gibbet Hill, killing god of hidden doorways, spinning the yarn from one's dyke to Silbury, spinning the tale book, telling the tale book to all and sundry, Celtiberians and Irish Gael. Then I hear camp followers bellow afar their shrieking lament for Johnny Guitar. Look to the farthest far horizon, look to the bloodlust deepest scar, look to the scattering Brittonic uprising, for this be the wall of Johnny Guitar. This be the ditch that you shall die in, here be the wall that I shall cry on. Ditch dug with antler and ox bone, shovel this rising wall that shades our ancient hovel. Look to the north, a quick mile yonder, look to our Rigdra Silbury, look to the Saxon chasing Viking, look to the Norman chasing Saxon, look to the German chasing German, 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 German. Here in the bloodlust deepest scar, for here be the wall of Johnny Guitar. Play your Glumax, Stephen O'Malley, sub-bass clinging to the sides of the valley, sub-bass ringing in each last ditch and coombe, Greg Anderson purvey a sonic doom. To rage and sound this valiant despair, doom and gloom as each a splendid pair. To rage and sound the valiant despair, not Abraham, not Moses, and not Christ, neither Jove to whom we sacrificed, not Attis, not Mohammed, but to hilltop Thor we rave and dance and weep and we implore. Look to the farthest far horizon, don't blame the messenger, don't blame the messenger. Look to the farthest far horizon, don't blame the messenger, don't blame the messenger. For I am death, so Ragnarok with me. For I am doom, so Ragnarok with me. And I stood upon one's dyke, and I did survey the land, and I did become the reaper with my own bare hands. And then I was King Vikar with his arms outstretched, and then I was King Vikar with his broken neck, and then I was the villain and the victim and the priest, was grim misunderstanding, was grim as death itself. My wall, caught in the thrall of my wall, my wall, caught beneath the thrall of my wall. Here in the bloodlust deepest scar, for here be the wall of Johnny Guitar. Here in the bloodlust deepest scar, for here be the wall of Johnny Guitar. Play your Glumax, Stephen O'Malley, sub-bass ringing the sides of the valley, sub-bass climbing up each last ditch and coombe, Greg Anderson purvey a sonic doom. Stand in the thrall, stand in the thrall, stand in the thrall of my tidal wall. Stand in the thrall, stand in the thrall, stand in the thrall of my tidal wall. Stand in the thrall, stand in the thrall, stand in the thrall of my tidal wall. Mothers to your bosoms, grab your child and sing, as to your breasts cascade and sing. Brothers and fathers down to the thing in the middle of the town to judge at the thing. These the effeminate priests affray that donned their drag and shrieked through the day, that dragged their god through muddiest fields, spilling seed to raise the yields. These the odd castrated womb men on this onerous land of no men. There the infernal priestess of Freya, these her people layer on layer, There the infernal priestess of Freya, visiting the farms, the seething seer, visiting the farms and rarely leaving, mounting the tumulus, the people grieving, Dodens doddering, dead and dying. Here the modest priests of Ing, whose hearkening always let us sing, that lets us free our Titus waistband, lets us fertilize our own land, spunked entire nations from one phallus, spunk their agitation into being, spilled the superseed into the one killed superseeder. Old motherfucker, she was a cocksucker, to give her poor family a home. Went down on their ding-dong, and drank for a sing-song, but ended her sad life alone. Around the church in Yatesbury the dead lie scattered underneath the sacred yew. As Sheila the witch, attending Sunday prayer, praises a god but never tells them who. And from my wall, observing Sheila the witch, praises her god but never explaining which. And every Monday night, by the light of the moon, those meddlesome, meddlesome, meddlesome bells, and the heavy metal of the heathen bells, meddlesome, meddlesome, meddlesome bells, and the bad heavy metal of the heathen bells, meddlesome, meddlesome, meddlesome bells, and the heavy metal of the heathen bells, meddlesome, meddlesome, meddlesome bells, and the bad heavy metal of the heathen bells. And Doggen can testify to my claim that the Christians of Yatesbury are Christian in name, but their stomping, pounding action attest to their Christianity happiest at rest. And Doggen, who played at the John Stuart Hall, can attest that its keeper is the heathenest of all, is a shapeshifter tending to a hogweed hidden, and her dear Paul wallows in the village pond named Midden. For all of us are boundaried by one's dyke to the west, and the great world hill which spies us and can never let us rest. Bringing on Iranian Mithra from its home beneath the east, caught always in the thrall of my wall, caught always in the thrall of my wall. Stand in the thrall, stand in the thrall, stand in the thrall of my wall, stand in the thrall, stand in the thrall, stand in the thrall of my wall. Stand in the thrall, stand in the thrall, stand in the thrall of my wall. Here in the bloodlust deepest scar, or here be the wall of Johnny Guitar. Here in the bloodlust deepest scar, for here be the wall of Johnny Guitar. Play your Gloomax, Stephen O'Malley, sub-bass ringing the sides of the valley, sub-bass climbing up each last ditch and combe, Greg Anderson purvey a sonic doom. Don't blame the messenger of gloom. Don't blame the messenger of doom. For this be the Ragnaroknius Aeon. In stillness, O'Malley and Anderson, play on. Play on. Play on.